27 up to 9 at 3 o'clock. The good sounds of Frank Zappa brought to you with the compliments of Maya City and Suburban Stores. Listening to Frank Zappa in special.
Hello. All those things on the Fillmore album are based on true stories.
Really?
Mud Shark, the whole business about the car, all that stuff, it's all true.
How did Three Dog Night handle it?
Well, a couple of the guys in Three Dog Night are very close friends of Mark and Howard. They enjoyed it. And also, I understand Robert Plant enjoyed his reference in there, too.
You have a fascination for the Holiday Inn. Where does that stem from?
Well, when you tour in the United States, when we tour in the United States, most of the time we stay in Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn is just a motel, is it?
It's just a motel.
Is it a particular chain or is it?
Chain, yeah. It's a very big chain. And seeing as how I tour 6 or 7 months out of the year, I spend most of my time in those little rooms, those funny little rooms with the plastic furniture and stuff. So, seeing as how all the material that I write is based on personal experiences of one sort or another, that has to come into it.
We got a lot of laughs from playing and happy together. Why did you put that particular track in it?
Because that's part of the true story. When the girl wouldn't do it until the guy sang his hit single, the song that he had to sing was Happy Together. And so we put it in there. It's just it's another way of presenting history.
There aren't a lot of tracks that we're allowed to play from your album. Did you have the same problem in America?
As a matter of fact, the album that we made in the United States that's gotten the most airplay is the Fillmore album. It got more airplay than any of our other albums put together.
Full tracks?
The whole album got played.
Yeah?
Not only that, the whole album of 200 Motels got played in Los Angeles. They would play it all the way straight through, all 4 sides of it. They did that for about 2 weeks, starting at midnight in the Fillmore station.
What sort of sales do you register over there? Your records don't often show up in the Billboard chart.
Well, the thing about charts is charts indicate the amount of sales over a fixed period of time. If you sell a lot in a week, then you have chart movement. But our albums tend to sell a decent amount over a long period of time. Our first albums are still selling. We've been doing this for about 9 years.
What sort of association have you had with Alice Cooper?
I found the group, signed into their first record contract, and assisted them in getting their first few albums out. And other than that, I don't have anything to do with them.
Do you think Alice drew anything from your act?
Did what?
Did Alice draw anything from your act for his?
I'm pretty sure they did.
What do you think of Alice at the moment?
I've never seen them recently. They worked with us a couple of times on the road, but
you must have got into some of these publicity.
I don't pay any attention to other groups.
23 to 10 at 3XY with good sounds of Frank Zappa brought you with the compliments of Maya City and Suburban Stores tonight. And it's currently 5 degrees in town. Overnight fogs tonight. Early frost, a fine day tomorrow with cloudy periods and a top of 12. You're listening to Frank Zappa in special.
Hello. Can we talk about Willie the Pimp?
Sure. Willie the Pimp started off as a basic track that was done at the same time we recorded Peaches and Regalia. In fact, all of the pieces on the Hot Rats album started off with a 4-piece rhythm section, and all of the parts were overdubbed on it later. The guitar solo on Willie the Pimp was not played at the time the rhythm track was laid down. I played it later at another studio, probably about a month later, and I'm surprised that it turned out at all because I don't know whether you understand what happens with the musicians union and the way in which they regulate the activities of what takes place in recording studios, but every time there's a session, the union always sends a representative to the studio to take notes on what's going on and so forth. And I was standing in the middle of the studio playing this guitar solo, and here comes this guy from the union with a clipboard, and he's waiting, and he's, I'm playing my butt off on this thing, and he's waiting in the background for me to turn around and give him the information of the session. It was very obnoxious. I was pretty displeased with the track when it was done, but I put it out anyway.
On 3XY, it's 10 to 10 now, and the good sounds of Frank Zappa are brought to you with the compliments of Maya City and Suburban Stores.
You're aware that you got a mention in the Deep Purple track, Smoke on the Water?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Can you explain how they got to do it?
Well, we were playing at a place, a casino in Montreux, Switzerland, and they had been working there for about a week, and they were trying to record a live album there. They were using the Rolling Stones remote truck. And at the time we played, right in the middle of our concert, some idiot in the audience set off some fireworks, which set the whole casino on fire, burned it down, destroyed all of our equipment, and did quite a bit of other things, too. I think there's a total of about $2 million worth of damage at that time. And that's what the reference is to. Curiously enough, during our concert, some kid in the audience set off a firework in the middle of the show, and I stopped the show, and I had to give him a little lecture about how dangerous it is to have fireworks in a concert.
On Weasels, Rhythm of Flesh, you did what I think might be a Little Richard number.
That's right. It was originally written by Little Richard.
What was it called?
Directly From My Heart to You.
How'd you get into that?
Well, when I first started playing the drums, about 1955, I used to work in a rhythm and blues band, and that was one of the songs that we used to play. And so when I got a chance to work with Sugar Cane Harris, I knew that he was familiar with that same repertoire that we were playing, and we just did it for a joke one afternoon in the studio. Turned out good. Directly From My Heart to You.
It's 10:05 now at 3XY, and the good sounds of Frank Zappa brought to you with the compliments of Maya. Frank Zappa in special.
Hello. You had some pretty overt sexual references to some of the titles of your songs.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have overt references to anything you want in any kind of written or spoken language. Anybody who binds himself into the idea of censorship is in trouble.
The movie, 200 Motels.
We were supposed to have a meeting yesterday with the senator that handles your censorship here from the new government. I don't know what his name is. And he didn't make the meeting. He flew off to another city. But I'll be seeing him again before I leave, and we're going to try and bring 200 Motels to Australia.
Is it released overseas?
Oh, yeah.
How's it done?
It's done pretty good. There's only a couple of countries that had the same censorship problem as here. I believe I mentioned in some other interviews. Spain, Portugal, and Brazil wouldn't let it in.
Who was in the 200 Motels? Can you tell us a bit of the story about it?
Ringo Starr is in it. Keith Moon is in it. Theodore Bickel is in it. Mark and Howard are in it. Ainsley's in it. George Duke is in it. Ian's in it. I'm in it every once in a while. The Royal Philharmonic Orchestra of London is in it. It's a chorus of about 20 people. And there's about 10 dancers. And it's a very strange musical.
Is there a story to it?
Basically, it's the story of somebody who goes on the road and an encapsulated, surrealized version of the type of things that can happen to you when you go out on the road.
Uncle Meat. Say something about Uncle Meat.
Yeah, still sitting in my basement. It's not done yet. 50 minutes of it are cut, but it's not done.
Will you ever get it together?
One day. There's no rush.
Just the album.
Just the album.
What part do you think you played in the development of rock as it is today? Do you think you played any?
Oh, to a certain extent. I'm sure I played some. We need to figure out how many groups have imitated some of the things that we've done. I think we've had our influence.
What influences did you have on you in the early days? When did you first start getting into rock?
I never really liked rock so much as rhythm and blues. I used to collect rhythm and blues records.
Like who?
People that you probably never heard of before. Lightning Slim, Guitar Slim, Johnny Guitar Watson, Clarence Kate Mouse Brown.
Real blues.
I used to like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, too.
Have you got any opinion on people like Elvis Presley and the Beatles? Straight to you.
I was never that enthusiastic about Elvis Presley's style of music. Some of the Beatles tunes I like. I think I like 3 of them.
What were they?
Paperback Writer, Strawberry Fields, and I Am the Walrus.
What about Captain Beefheart?
Don't pay attention to him either.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I went to high school with him. That was about 1956. I remember in school he had a sense of humor.
You think you lost it?
I think he did, yeah. I think he cosmicked out somewhere along the line.
Did you ever play with him?
Not since the time we did the Hot Rats album. I think he cosmicked out somewhere along the line.
Hello.
One of the sad things to come out of the Frank Zappa tour of Australia was the cancellation of McKinzie Furious as support act. We talked to Rob McKenzie.
All I was told was that they wanted some biographies and hear some music of the band, and we sent a copy of the Sunbury record of us, which isn't a very good example of the band, but we sent a copy of that to his management in Australia and to him in America with photos and things like that, and the reply that we got was apparently that he wanted an acoustic group after hearing us, and so I thought, well, I'd like to do the tour and that, and so we said, well, we'll go acoustic, we'll play all acoustic. I wasn't really all that serious about it, actually, but I said that we were going to do it, and we would have for a few of the concerts anyway. And, then he said that he didn't want that particular band on the concert. That's all I've really heard officially. Sort of generally they said that he wanted a band that plays typical acoustic type music. And the main difference between our music and that is that ours is a lot more exciting and more fiery and that sort of thing.
Do you think it was because there were some similarities between the two bands?
Yes, I think so. I think he wanted a complete contrast. He wanted something quiet and acoustic. He wanted something that would just be out of the way and it'd be the official sort of that's the Australian band they've had on and now on with the show.
McKinzie Furious, extraterrestrial boogie from their album Out of the Blue as part of the Frank Zappa special on 385. 24 past 10.
A folk singer in clubs in Los Angeles when the Mothers were first getting going.
How are you associated with
She used to come to our shows. She's managed by the same person who manages us.
They had a track of hers on one of the albums they released.
Yeah, the Zapped album was an anthology of all the various things that were released on the Bizarre and Straight label at that time.
What about Jerry Yester?
That's Judy's husband.
He's played The Loving Spoonful.
Yeah.
What does he do now?
Produces mostly.
Can you tell me anything about King Kong?
The Jean-Luc Ponty album? Or the song that we did? King Kong was originally recorded in October 1967 at Apostolic Studios in New York City. And it was probably the first attempt at a major full-length instrumental event to be placed on a rock and roll album at that time. I think it was the first time anybody had occupied the whole side of an album with a piece of that complexity.
The band I was telling you about before, Sons of the Digital Mother, who became Daddy Cool, have now reverted to that early influence, and they're called Mighty Coal. They appear on stage with huge gorillas and things like that.
That must be really good.
Keep adapting, keep changing, right?
Yeah, other groups don't.
How long do you think you'll go on doing this? Can you project anything?
Until I get tired of doing it.
What direction are you in at the moment?
Some of the most complicated music you ever heard in your life.
Does it become boring at all?
What?
The music. I mean, does it tend to become boring to the average cat who hasn't got into it before? You think?
Well, there's always that possibility, but I doubt it. Because I think what happens is so exciting, for my taste anyway. I think it's very exciting.
Are you tending towards a jazz field more than anything at the moment?
I think people tend to describe a piece of music as jazz if it doesn't sound like rock and roll, but I wouldn't call it jazz.
See much of the country? Are you going to?
Probably not. Probably see quite a bit of my hotel room.
Would you like to see more of the country?
It might confuse me.
Why?
Because that's the way I'm used to living. When I go out on the road, I see the hotel and the car and the restaurant and the airport. And
That's your personal purpose?
yeah, I like it that way.
All right. That's about it.
Okay.
Thanks very much.